Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bunk and of having nothing to do. Once or twice she has peeped into the book her sister was reading.
What's the use of a book without pictures or conversation in it?
She was considering whether the pleasure of making a daisy chain would be worth the trouble of getting up and picking the daisies, when suddenly a white rabbit with pink eyes went close by her.
Burning with curiosity, Alice ran across the field after it. Fortunately, she was just in time to see it pop down a large rabbit hole under the hedge. Alice went down after it, never once considering how in the world would she get out again. The rabbit hole went straight on like a tunnel, then dipped suddenly down. Alice found herself falling down a very deep well.
Down, down, down. I feel I'm falling through the ground.
Down she came upon a heap of sticks and dry leaves. The fall was over. Alice jumped onto her feet in a moment. It was dark overhead, but in front was another long passage. The white rabbit was still in sight, hurrying along it.
Oh, my ears and whiskers! How late it's getting! What an unusual hallway! I do believe I'm in the rabbit's house. Oh, he's left a key. I wonder if it opens one of these doors.
Alas, either the locks were too large or the key was too small. At any rate, it wouldn't open any of them. Suddenly, Alice came upon a low curtain she had not noticed before, and behind it was a little door about 15 inches high. She knelt down, opened the door, and looked along the passage.
The loveliest garden you ever saw! How I wish I could get out of this dark hallway and wander among those beds of bright flowers and cool fountains, but I can't even get my head through the doorway, and even if my head would go through, it would be very little use without my shoulders. If only I could find a way. I wish I could shut up like a telescope. Perhaps there might be a book of rules that will show me how. This little bottle certainly wasn't here before. Drink me? I shall first see whether it's marked poisoned or not. Anything that's marked poison is sure to disagree with you, sooner or later, if you drink too much of it. But this looks okay, though. Very nice. A mixed sort of flavor. Cherry tart, custard, pineapple, roast turkey, toffee, and hot buttered toast. Delicious. What is this curious feeling? I must be getting smaller.
So it was indeed. Alice was now only 10 inches high. Alice was a little nervous about shrinking any further. After a while, finding nothing more happened, she decided to go to the garden at once. But when she reached the door, she found she had forgotten the key. And when she went back to get it, she couldn't possibly reach it. Try as she might, it was no use. Alice sat down and cried.
There's no use in crying like that. A great girl like you to go on crying like this. Stop at this moment, I tell you.
Suddenly, she noticed a small cake beside her. The words evening were written on it in currants.
Well, I shall eat it. If it makes me grow larger, I can reach the key. If it makes me grow smaller, I can creep under the doorway. Either way, I'll get into the garden. Which way? Which way? Curiouser and curiouser. Now I'm opening up like the tallest telescope there ever was. Goodbye, feet.
Now more than 9 feet high. At once, she took the little golden key and hurried off to the garden door. Lying down on one side was all she could to do to look into the garden with one eye. To try and get through was more hopeless than ever. She sat down and began to cry again.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. A great girl like you to go on crying like this. Stop at this moment, I tell you.
But she went on all the same, shedding gallons of tears until there was a large pool of tears all around her. Suddenly, she heard a little pattering of feet in the distance.
Oh, the Duchess, the Duchess. Won't she be savage if I kept her waiting? I'm late. If the Duchess is a minute too late, she'll have my head off. Better get it moving because I'm running out of time. I'm late. If I cannot kiss crucial, they do me no let off. What am I to do? I'm going out of my mind. I'm late. how queer everything is today. Goodness, I'm shrinking again. It must be the fan.
As she said these words, her foot slipped and in another moment, splash. She was up to her chin in water. At first she thought she'd somehow fallen into the sea, but soon realized that she was in a pool of tears which she had wept when she was 9 feet high.
She heard something splashing about in the pool a little way off, and she swam nearer to make out what it was. At first she thought it must be a walrus or a hippopotamus, but then she remembered how small she was now. She soon made out that it was only a mouse that had slipped into the pool like herself.
Oh, Mouse, do you know the way out of here? I'm tired of swimming about like this. Oh, Mouse, perhaps it doesn't understand English. Perhaps it's a French mouse. I don't know much French. Let me see. Oui, est ma chat? Oh, I do beg your pardon. I quite forgot you didn't like cats.
Not like cats. Would you like cats if you were me?
Well, perhaps not.
Nasty little vulgar things. Don't let me hear any more about them again.
Are you fond of dogs? There's such a nice little dog near our house. I should like to show you.
Cats, dogs, nice little things.
Oh dear, I've offended it again. Mouse dear, do come back. We won't talk about cats and dogs if you don't like them.
Let's swim to shore. Then I'll tell you my history. And then you understand why I hate cats and dogs.
It was high time for them to go. The pool was getting quite crowded with all the birds and animals which had fallen into it. Alice said the way and the whole party swam to the shore. What a queer-looking party they were assembled on the bank. The first question, of course, was how to get dry.
Sit down, all of you, and listen to me. Silence, if you please.
Must we listen to a story again?
I'll soon make you dry. This is the driest thing I know. William the Conqueror, whose cause is played by the Pope, soon. I'll proceed. The patriotic Archbishop of Canterbury found it advisable.
Found what?
Found it. Of course, you know what it means. He found it advisable to meet William and offer him the crown. How are you getting on now, my dear?
I'm as wet as ever. It doesn't seem to dry me at all.
In that case, I move the meeting adjourned for the immediate adoption of more energetic remedies.
Speak English! I don't know the meaning of half those long words, and what's more, I don't believe you do either.
I was going to say the best thing to get us dry would be a caucus race.
What's a caucus race?
Why, the best way to explain is to do it. Here's the race course. The exact shape doesn't matter. Stand where you like, begin to run when you like, and leave off when you like.
If your bird feathers are a song,
must have prizes.
But who is to give the prizes?
Why, she, of course.
Private! One at a time, please. There we go.
She must have a prize herself, you know.
Of course. What else have you got in your pocket?
Only a thimble.
Hand it over. We beg your acceptance of this elegant thimble.
You promised to tell me your history, you know. And why is it you hate C and D?
Mine is a long, sad tale. Fury said to the mountains he met in the house, it spoke out to look, I will prosecute you. I will prosecute you. Come on, take no denial, we must have a trial for any this one. I've nothing to do. I've nothing to do. Said the mouse, if it casts such a trial to sell with no jury, a judge would be wasting our breath. I'll be judge, I'll be jury, said Cardinal Fury. I'll try the whole course and condemn you to death. You're not attending?
Oh, I do beg your pardon. I thought you had finished.
I have not.
Oh, and not. Do let me help you undo it.
I shall do nothing of the sort. You insult me by talking such nonsense.
I didn't mean it. Mouse dear, do come back and finish your story.
Yes, please come back. What a pity it wouldn't stay.
I wish we had our Dinah here. She'd soon fetch it back.
And who is this Dinah, might I venture to ask this question?
Dinah's a cat, and she's such a capital one for catching mice. And oh, I wish you could see her after the birds.
Oh, we really must be going. It's getting very late.
I wish I hadn't mentioned Dinah. My dear Dinah, I wonder if I shall ever see you anymore.
Oh, the Duchess. Oh, my dear paws. Oh, my ears and whiskers. She'll get me executed as the first. Where can I drop them, I wonder? Marianne, what are you doing out here? Run home this moment and fetch me a pair of gloves and fan. Quick, now!
He took me as his housemaid. How surprised he'll be when he finds out who I am. But I better get his fan and gloves for him. That is, if I can find them.
As she said this, Alice came upon a neat little house, on the door of which was a bright brass plate with the name W. Rabbit engraved upon it. Alice hurried in without knocking and found her way into a tiny room. Inside was a table, and on it a fan, 2 or 3 pairs of tiny white kid gloves, and a little bottle.
grown so large that she was stuck fast inside the rabbit's house. Luckily for Alice, the little magic bottle had now had its full effect and she grew no larger.
It was much pleasanter at home, when one wasn't always growing larger and smaller and being ordered about by mice and rabbits. I do wonder what could have happened to me. I wonder what will happen next.
And well might she have wondered, for Alice herself could hardly believe what just happened next. Firstly, the white rabbit came to look for his gloves and fan, but found nothing. Bill the lizard was sent down the chimney to tackle the giant inside. Alice, with one sharp kick, sent him flying up like a skyrocket.
Then the rabbit and his friend showered Alice with a barrel full of pebbles. When she noticed, we're all turning into little kids. Naturally, she tried one of them and was delighted to see that she began shrinking slowly. As soon as she was small enough, she ran out of the house and was safe in a thick wood.
The first thing I've got to do is grow to my right size again. And the second thing is to get into that lovely garden. I think that would be the best plan.
It sounded like an excellent plan. The only difficulty was that she had not the smallest of ideas of how to set about it. Alice looked all around her at the flowers and the blades of grass. Growing near her was a mushroom about the same height as herself. She stretched herself up on tiptoe and peeked over the edge of the mushroom. There her eyes immediately met those of the large green caterpillar.
be a little larger, sir, if you won't mind. 3 inches is such a wretched height to be.
It's a very good height indeed. I don't know what is wrong with your side. You shouldn't worry so. You shouldn't criticize. You get used to being inches high. It's the perfect height and I should know. Please excuse me now, I have to go.
How puzzling all these things are. I'm never sure what's going to happen from one minute to another. Anyway, I think I should get into that lovely garden and grow to my correct size. Finally. I think that would be the best plan.
Alice came upon down in an open place with a little house in it, about 4 feet high. For a minute or two, she stood looking at the house, wondering what to do next, when a footman in livery came running out of the wood and went to the front door.
There's certainly too much pepper in that soup. And could you tell me why your cat grins like that?
It's a Cheshire Cat, and that's why. Pig,
I don't know any cats that grin.
they all can, and most of them do.
I don't know any that do.
You don't know much, and that's a fact.
Please mind what you're doing. Oh, there goes his precious nose.
If everybody minds their own business, the world will go round a great deal faster than it does.
Which would not be an advantage. You see, the world takes 24 hours to turn on its axis.
Talking of axes, chop off her head.
24 hours, I think. Or is it 12?
Oh, don't bother. I could never buy potatoes. Here, nurse it for a bit, like.
Alice carried the baby out into the open where it started to grunt. Alice said to it if it was going to turn into a pig, she'd have nothing else to do with it. It grunted again so violently that she set the little creature down and felt quite relieved to see it trot away into the woods.
If it had grown up, it would make a dreadfully ugly child, but make a rather handsome pig, I think. As Alice turned round, she was a little startled to see the Cheshire Cat. Cheshire Puss, would you tell me where I ought to go from here?
That depends on the good you want to get to.
I don't much care where.
Then it doesn't matter which way you go.
What sort of people live about here?
In that direction lives a hatter, and in that direction lives a marcher. Visit either like they're both mad.
I don't want to go among mad people.
Oh, you can't help that here. We're all mad here. I'm mad, you're mad.
How do you know I'm mad?
You must be or you wouldn't have came here. You played a proclaim with me today.
I haven't been invited, but I would like it very much.
Well, you see me here. By the by, what became of the baby? Any difficult to ask?
It turned into a pig.
I thought it would.
With that, the Cheshire Cat slowly vanished, beginning with the end of the tail and ending with the grin, which remained some time after the rest of it had gone.
I've often seen a cat without a grin, but a grin without a cat is the most curious thing I've ever seen in all my life. White rabbits with strange habits that run
father before she came in sight of the house of the March Hare.
She thought it must be the right house because the chimneys were shaped like ears and the roof was flat with fur. There was a table set out under a tree in front of the house where the March and the Hatter were having tea. A dormouse was sitting between them fast asleep.
No room, no room. There's plenty of room. I don't see any wine.
There isn't any.
And it wasn't very civil of you to offer it. I didn't know it was your table.
Your hair wants cutting.
You should learn not to make personal remarks. It's very rude.
Why is a raven like a writing desk?
I believe I can guess that.
Do you mean that you think you can find the answer to it?
Exactly so.
Then you should say what you mean.
I do. At least I mean what I say. That's the same thing, you know.
Not the same thing a bit. You might just as well say that I eat what I see is the same as I see what I eat.
You might as well just say I like what I mean is just the same as I get what I like.
You might just as well say that I breathe when I sleep is the same as I sleep when I breathe.
It is the same thing with you. What day of the month is it?
The 4th.
2 days wrong. I told you butter wouldn't suit the works.
It was the best one though.
Yes, but some crumbs must have got in as well. I told you shouldn't have put it in with a bread knife.
It was the best butter, you know.
Was a funny watch. It tells the day of the month and doesn't tell what o'clock it is.
Why should it? Does your watch tell you what year it is?
Of course not. But that's because it stays the same year for such a long time together.
Which is just the case with mine.
I don't quite understand you.
The dormouse is asleep again. Have you guessed the riddle yet?
No, I give up. What's the answer?
I haven't the slightest idea. I'm mad as a hatter. I've never felt better. It's hard to believe that I'm out of my mind, but I'm mad as a hatter. So pass me the butter. one of the trees had a door leading straight into it. Curious indeed, but in she went. At last she found herself in a garden with bright flower beds and a cool fountain. There was a rose tree near the entrance of the garden. The roses on there were red, but there were the roses on there were white, but there were 3 gardeners there busily painting them red.
Look out now, 3. Don't go splashing paint over me like that.
I couldn't help it, 7 dodged my elbow. That's right. 3 always lays the blame on others. You better not talk. I heard the queen say only yesterday you deserve to be beheaded.
What for?
That's none of your business, too.
Yes, it is his business, and it was for making the cook tulip juice instead of onions.
Well, of all the unjust things. Would you tell me why you're painting those roses?
Why, the fact is, you see, miss, this who ought to a red rose tree. We put a white one in by mistake. If the queen find out, we'll all have our heads cut off. So you see, miss, we're trying our best before she comes to.
The queen!
Make way for the king and queen of hearts.
Who is this idiot? What is your name, child? My name is Alice. So pleased, Your Majesty. And who are these? How should I know? It's no business of mine. Off with her head! Off with! Nonsense!
Consider it, my dear. She's only a child.
Turn them over. Get up. Leave off that. You make me giddy. What have you been doing here?
Your Majesty, we're trying.
I see. Off with their heads. You shan't be beheaded. Are their heads off?
The heads are gone. If it please you, Your Majesty.
Can you play croquet? Yes. Come on then.
It's a very fine day.
Very. Where's the Duchess?
Hush, hush. She's under sentence of execution.
What for?
She boxed the queen's ears.
faces.
Off with the head! Off with the head and off with his head!
Thank you. They're dreadfully fond of beheading people here. The great wonder is if there's anyone left alive.
How are you getting on?
I don't think they play at all fairly, and they all quarrel so dreadfully.
How do you like the queen?
Not at all. She's so extremely, what's the word? Likely to win. It's hardly worth starting the game.
Who are you talking to?
A friend of mine, the Cheshire Cat. Allow me to introduce it.
I don't like the look of it at all, but it makes my heart a little noise.
I'd rather not.
Don't be impertinent, and don't look at me like that.
A cat may look at a king.
Well, it must be removed. My dear, I wish this cat would be removed.
Off with his head.
I'll fetch the executioners myself.
Have you seen the mock turtle yet?
No, I don't even know what a mock turtle is.
It's the thing mock turtle soup is made from.
I never heard of one or saw one.
Come on then, he shall tell you his history. Griffin, hurry up you lazy thing and take this young lady to see the mock turtle while I must go see some executions I have ordered.
Alice was left with the griffin. She didn't quite like the look of the creature, but she thought she would go with the griffin instead going after the queen. After that, she saw the mock turtle sitting sad and lonely on the little ledge of rock.
Are we there yet? What is his sorrow?
It's all his fancy, Dan. He hasn't got no sorrow, you know. Come on. Ahem. This here young lady, she wants to know your history. She do.
I'll tell it to her. Sit down, both of you. Once I was a real turtle. When we were little, we went to school in the sea. The master was no turtle. We used to call him Tortoise. Why did you call him Tortoise if he wasn't one? Because he taught us. Why, you are really dull.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself for asking such a simple question.
We went to school in the sea. We had the best of education. In fact, we went to school every single day. I've been to day school too. With extras? Yes, we learned French, music, and washing? Certainly not. But yours was a really good school. At ours, they had French, music, and washing extra. I only took the regular course. What was that? Reading and writing, of course, to begin with. And then the different branches of arithmetic, ambition, distraction, uglification, and derision. And how many hours a day did you do lessons? About 10 hours the first day, 9 the next, and so on. What's a curious plan?
That's why they're called lessons, because they lesson from day to day. Anyway, that's enough about the lessons. Now recite your poem for her.
Would you like me to? Very much indeed. Will you walk a little faster, said a waiting to us now. There's a porpoise close behind us, and he's treading on my tail. See how eagerly the lobsters and the turtles all advance. They are waiting on the shingle. Will you come and join the dance? Will you, won't you, will you, won't you, will you join the dance? Will you, won't you, will you, won't you, won't you join the dance? Thank you. If I'd been the whiting, I would have said to the porpoise, keep back, please. We don't want you with us. They were obliged to have him with them. No wild fish would go anywhere without a porpoise. Wouldn't it really? Of course not. If a fish came to me and said he was going on a journey, I should say, with what porpoise? Don't you mean purpose? I mean what I say.
Would you like the mock turtle to sing you a song?
Yes, if the mock turtle would be so kind.
No accounting for taste. Sing her beautiful soup, will you, old fellow?
This is a song that I love to recite, to sing along if you choose. Often the chorus so you get it right. It's not as if
us a clue.
Begins with an S. Sausage,
Salad?
sandwich,
Salami?
celery.
The trial's beginning.
Come on.
What trial is it?
Come on.
Alice and the Griffin hurried off to the courtroom. Alice had never been in a court of justice before, but she had read about them in books. She was pleased to find that she knew the name of almost everything there. That's the judge, with his great wig, and that's the jury box. And those 12 creatures, I suppose they're the jurors? What are they doing?
They're writing down their names in fear they will forget them.
Stupid things. I wish they'd get the trial done and hand run the refreshments. Silence in the court. Harold, read the accusation.
The Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts all in a summer's day. The Knave of Hearts, she stole those tarts and took them quite away.
Who stole the tarts?
Shoot it,
Who stole the tarts?
for the knave who stole the tarts.
Who stole the tarts?
Shoot it,
Who stole the tarts?
for the knave who stole the tarts.
Put her in the prison and lock her up, lock her up. Put her in the prison and throw away the key. Put her in the prison and lock her up, lock her up. Put her in the prison and throw away the key.
Not yet, not yet. There's a great deal to come before that.
Call the first witness.
First witness,
Take off your hat.
it's not mine, sir.
Take off your hat.
I'm afraid it isn't mine.
Whose hat is that?
Stole it.
Whose hat is that?
He has stolen someone's hat.
Put him in the prison and lock him up, lock him up. Put him in the prison and throw away the key. Put him in the prison and lock him up, lock him up. Put him in the prison and throw away the key.
I'd rather finish my tea, sir.
You may go.
Just take his head off outside.
Call the next witness.
Next witness,
Give your evidence. Chance. Who baked the tarts?
shoot it.
Who baked the tarts?
Was the knave who baked the tarts.
What's in the tarts? Pepper, pepper. What's in the tarts?
I put pepper in the tarts.
Put her in the prison and lock her up, lock her up. Put her in the prison and throw away the key. Put her in the prison and lock her up, lock her up. Put her in the prison and throw away the key. Never mind that, call the next witness.
Alice, here.
What do you know about this business?
Nothing.
Nothing whatever.
Nothing whatever.
That's very important.
Unimportant, Your Majesty means.
Unimportant, of course. Important, unimportant, unimportant, important.
Oh, do get on with it.
Yes, of course, dear. Consider your verdict. Let the jury consider the verdict.
No, no, no. Sentence first and the verdict afterwards.
Stop
The whole pack rose up into the air. She gave a little scream, half of fright and half of anger, and tried to beat them off.
She found herself on the bank with her head in the lap of her sister, who was gently brushing away some dead leaves that had fluttered down from the trees upon her face.
Wake up, Alice, dear. What a long sleep you have.
Oh, I had such curious dreams.